everybody. It is Heidi at Hen and Chick Studio, and we are just a couple of minutes away from getting started with our product showcase. We're coming on a couple minutes early to give everybody a chance to join in and have some fun. And you know, right off the bat, we're going to ask you, where are you watching from tonight? So be sure to start commenting, because at the end of the hour, we are going to be selecting from the comments that you make during the next hour. So everybody start getting your warm fingers out there. Start typing. You know, this is a warm-up. This is the pregame show for a big basketball game. Something going on at 8:20 or something tonight. I'm not sure what basketball game it is. But anyway, because the Cyclones aren't playing. So if the Cyclones aren't playing, we're not paying attention, right? All right, so as everybody starts to join in and everything, if you've never been with us before for Product Showcase, for the next hour, you're going to hear Jamie and I and everybody talk about some of the great things that we have here at Hen and Chick Studio. A couple of things you need to remember is that we do not do comments sold. So if you see something that you like that we're showing, just open another tab, get up henandchickstudio.com and order directly from our website. You can place as many orders as you want tonight. We'll combine them on the back end and you'll get charged for shipping only once, $8.50 for whatever you buy. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. So we want to make sure you are have two tabs open. You are tagging your friends and saying, hey, Hen and Chick Studio's going live. Come on over, see the good stuff. Or share our post, whatever it is, because that's the best way for the word to get out about the fun we have here at Hen and Chick Studio, is by you tagging your friends and letting them know that something fun and creative is going on. Okay, everybody, is it 7 o'clock officially yet? It's officially 7 o'clock. All right, well then let's get started. Come on, Jamie.
All right, here we are.
That's right. You're Jamie. I'm Heidi.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hen and Chick Studio. We're in Conrad, Iowa.
Yes.
Right in central Iowa, sort of maybe a little to the east in the north.
Right in the middle of the state.
But right in the middle of the state.
Basically an hour to any place we want to go.
Absolutely. And we've been open for just over 10 years. And we have a fully equipped retreat center upstairs. We
have retreaters up there, so if you might hear them.
Oh, yeah, if you hear any noises,
Yep.
it's not there's not gremlins or anything. It's actually people walking
Yep.
around upstairs. It's so fun to see all of the ladies up there be creative, whether they're scrapbooking or quilting, and
just the fun, listening to the laughter.
Oh yes, all of that too. And we're so excited. We are a full service quilt shop, and we love having customers come in and walk in. And so you can always come and see the things here. But we also love having people come, I'm going to say virtually.
Right. Come into the store online.
Yes. And we welcome you. And even if you don't live here, even if you can't drive here, don't worry, you're going to get the same kind of customer service that we would give if you walked in the door. We do a lot of phone calls and emails and a few photos.
Send pictures to people, help them match stuff if they need it. Yes. We love it.
Yes.
It inspires us.
Oh, it does. Yeah. It does. In fact, we've really gotten to the point where we're keeping track of how far we reach every single month.
And real quick, when I just peeked, there was all different. I saw Colorado. What else?
California, Florida. Yeah, Marshalltown, Grundy Center.
So some local Iowa places. Wonderful. We have such a
Missouri.
Yay.
Missouri.
Yep.
Kansas.
Awesome. So I love that.
Cool.
And so if you've never heard us talk about our coast to coast goal, each month our goal is to reach all 50 states. And if you go to henandchickstudio.com/50 states, and we'll put the link in there too. Virginia's working on some of those things. If you could put the link in there, Virginia, that would be great. And our goal is to reach all 50 states. And I will tell you, it's not updated from March 31st for April 1st.
You're a little busy.
I was in Minnesota. I was in another state for 3 days, and so I'm a little behind.
Yes.
But I will get that done. But we do have a 5-inch charm square for anybody who wants that for free.
Yeah.
So
when
we reach
all 50 states each month.
Yeah. So
and
if
we're
you
trying
see,
to do it every month.
yeah. So if you ever see any of the states that are missing, that's where we need your help to find your friends, because we know there's quilters in all 50 states. So that's not a problem.
Yes.
So anyway, well, tonight, Jamie, we are going to kind of have a theme.
We do have a theme tonight.
For the night. You know, sometimes it's just crazy theme. Sometimes it's a little this, a little that.
Could be said that every day. But
yeah,
we
could. But we do have a theme for tonight. And the theme is panels. And you touched base last Tuesday.
Right, yeah. On the Take Home Tuesday.
On Take Home Tuesday episode, a little bit about panels. And boy, it just starts, the juice is flowing because, they've been, some people think of panels as cheater cloth, or that's a word that used to be used. There's some fun words that people have used for them and stuff. But with today's printing and the capabilities of what some of these companies are doing with their fabrics, panels have taken on a new life.
Right, and I think so many people, when they think panel, they just think panel. Like it's one piece of cloth, that's how I have to make it.
Correct.
And we've been encouraging and using ourselves and seeing it more where panels can be cut apart, or pieces or portions of panels can be used. And so that's where we kind of start with Take Home Tuesday last week, because if you're not familiar with Take Home Tuesday, it's just a fun episode, I guess. We'll have episodes every week. Not necessarily quilting or sewing related.
Just
all
something
things fun,
creative and fun.
But you can go back and we'll touch on some of that we did last week tonight, because it kind of spurred our thoughts into, you know, we like, does anybody else like it when somebody shares an idea? I know I see lots of positive comments on our creative community.
Our Facebook community,
We like when somebody shares an idea, so why shouldn't we share ideas too?
That's right. That's right. Yes.
So,
well, you know what? We're going to get started here. And the first thing I am going to do, because I'm going to guess that there's somebody out there that does not know what a panel is.
Yep.
So let's just talk real quick about a panel in general. Oh, I got it upside down. I already have it upside down. So usually a panel is 24 inches wide by the width of the fabric. So in this case, selvage is up here, selvage is down here. And so that would be considered the width of fabric, WOF, and is 42, 43 usable inches. And then 24 inches on this from side to side. So when you hear the word panel, typically,
sometimes they're a little different.
Let me tell you, the printing these days, we're starting to see yard panels. We've even seen larger panels, because digital printing can go to 58 inches and stuff. So there's some fun things that are happening with that. So that is a typical panel.
Right, and this one happens to have what I would call some other blocks within the panel.
So it has, in this particular case, has a big motif with the 3 small motifs.
You hold that one, Heidi.
Okay.
And I'll get one that doesn't have.
Yes. Okay, sorry. And this one is Bird Song. And Virginia, can you grab the Bird Song panels? And
here it is right here.
Well, is that the one? Okay.
Yep. This is that version.
Goldie will hold that up there for us. Okay. So this is in pink, and you're going to see the blue version in a bit.
But let's talk about, like, this one has a bit more maybe possibilities because of the individual blocks versus this one.
You're going to use the whole thing. You're not going to cut it up. And this is so fun. It has the state and the city that is the state capital. So Iowa, Des Moines, Kansas, Topeka, Kentucky, Frankfurt. I'm sure there's a song.
There is probably a song.
Okay, there's a song. Okay. And so there's some like that.
Yep.
So that one happens to be more horizontal.
Yeah, this one
you would use it
depending which way you wanted to hang it.
Correct. Correct. And let's just go through a couple of these.
Sure.
And so they can see
we're going to talk more about each one later, but
more about them, but then we can versus this one is almost like a what do you want to say, a quilt design. I mean, like, it could almost be, you could almost say that is a quilt. And so I look at a panel as bringing us the ability to, like, if I were to try to piece this or applique this eagle, it would not look this beautiful. And so, and the words, getting all that on. So a panel is allowing us to get designs and motifs that we might not get in any other form. So
right, and beautiful options. There's
yes, and like like this one is it's treated more like running yardage, but look at this artwork. I mean, that is a piece of art. Yeah. And again, we're going to talk more about that. But so panels don't all look the same, and I guess that's what my point is that they might be 24 by width of fabric, but they're going to look very, very different from one to another. Okay, so which one should we start with? God, there's too many. So many. Should we
start at the very beginning? Okay, let's talk about, do you do pattern or panel first?
There you go. Okay, let's do that.
Pattern or panel first. So if I had a panel such as this, right? This art one, which
is big.
I know I'm not probably going to cut it down. So then
unless you're doing one of those quilts that they call like a seven wonder world or something. I can't remember the name of that. One of you can. Here's where you could always help us if there's information that we can't remember. If you know the name of that book where you take like 7 panels and you cut them all up, there's a whole nother technique for you. So somebody, if you know the name of that book, put the link in the comments.
So on something like that, and we actually have this finished hanging on our back door, but I didn't want to take it down tonight.
But it could be we put into a very simple pattern. This is one of them where, like, twisted panel, it just needs a piece of fabric in the middle of it.
And we had the other ones, but I don't know where it went to. Well, we'll find it. I'll go grab it.
Yes.
Yeah. This one too, Heidi, it's such a simple one that you could literally quilt it, bind it, or you could just add your own straight border
and keep it very simple and be done with it.
So the twisted panel would be one option. There's that one. The other one I'm thinking of is Panel Magic.
Panel Magic is one that we use on a regular basis, and this is daydreaming. And daydreaming is one word. In case you're googling that and on our searching that on our website. This is from Stephanie Brandenburg, who is an Iowa designer. And I just love the iris. Doesn't it just look so vibrant, so pretty with all of that?
And Panel Magic happens to be the one that Heidi made.
Yep.
This one we do not have a kit for because we don't know what color you would prefer out of that. So if Virginia puts the link up to, I don't know actually if we even have a picture online of the
I don't know that we do. We'll have to.
Daydreaming.
But I don't think it has a panel.
We'll get one up from
Yes, we'll get one up. But the idea is that it basically takes 2 colors. Tell us how much yardage we need for that one, Goldie. Is it
by one panel, 3/4 of a yard for border, 5/8 of a yard for accent, 1/2 yard binding.
So I think I used 2 colors and made sure that the binding and whatever color was the same. So this uses the plaster of Paris fabrics, and oh my gosh, it's so vibrant. Do you want red? Do you want teal? Do you want yellow, black? You could really pull out whatever you wanted in that.
Yes.
So that's an idea. But while we're thinking about this, before we move on, this is like a piece of art, and should we talk about the frames?
Oh, sure, yeah, that would be a perfect one for that.
Because since we're already talking about it, let's go ahead. So one of the things that Jamie, I'll let you hold on to that since I'm off camera here for a second.
On Tuesday, at Take Home Tuesday, I had shown some different ideas, which included panels on frames or canvases. So we have this large canvas that.
So bought it's a canvas. It's got a wooden frame like this. Bought it at a craft store,
some sort of supply shop that you would have. Heidi, we talked about this too. This is a little bit bigger piece. You'd want a piece of batting. Of course, I guess you wouldn't have to wrap batting on it, but
no. If you wanted to have like a little oomph to it and not feel like it was a flat pancake,
we'll just pretend.
Yes, we'll pretend that it's on here.
So we would wrap this around our canvas.
Get it nice and flat. And my thought was, I stood at the craft store deciding on the different frames. This one is 24 inches wide. And I decided I did not want to cut down this at all. So what I would have done if this was really something I was doing, I would add a border so that I could use that border to pull it all the way around so that the pretty part of the panel would basically be on the top, and then I would have the rest of it pull around. Because it's hard not knowing which way you want to go, because then you could also...
But Heidi, before we get this one, boom, instant art to hang on the wall.
Instant art.
Yeah.
And think of it, I mean, oh my gosh, again, you could get narrow panels and cut it apart and make it look, because I even thought, I was debating, this is the same width, and my thought was, could I have cut it in half this way and almost had a top and a bottom and made it look
kind of create a different visual effect?
Yes, create a different visual effect. Or do I like the smaller one and I want to wrap
the iris
like or
part
put one part of it and wrap it around and make so that it had a different look.
1 second.
Okay. And again, you can get these inexpensively to be able to put them together.
So again, if you used, and she did that.
Oh, if I did the sunflowers,
I could always pull a different part and wrap it around.
Oh, can you imagine have two of those?
Yeah.
Well, see, this is where it gets fun because there's so many possibilities. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
What do you want it to look like? Yeah, or that way.
Yep.
I mean, so you could do several different things.
Yep.
Now, you could also quilt this.
Yes.
And put it inside a frame. Let's just
hand stitching. This would be a perfect one for some, what is that called? Thread painting?
Thread painting. It could
stitching around with your...
Yes, and like I'm even thinking like with I like doing like embroidery stitches. You could embellish that so that it could add texture to it. Oh my gosh, we could
go on and on and on.
Girls, we need to start volleyball up again so that I have another new project. You
already have one going.
I know I already have one going. But then you could also quilt this, and instead of putting it over a canvas, you could put it in a frame.
Right.
And if anybody's been to Hen and Chick Studio to the bathroom, this is off the wall. Don't worry, we'll put it back. But we actually quilted it and framed it, and we'll show all. We'll show all here. And just pulled it to the back, mitered it pretty simply, if you want to say, to make it lay flat. And I think I glued it down. I think I glued it down so that it wouldn't. But anyway, and that all of a sudden you've got wall art.
Yep. And same thing, you could still quilt it and wrap it on the canvas after you quilted it as well. The other thing, Heidi, that we mentioned, we had somebody come in asking about some sound deadening type things. Obviously, quilting in the wall helped deaden sound. But here, when you add the batting to the canvas, you're automatically kind of creating a little deadening sound to if you have a large space to use. And again, with the fabrics, there's so many fabrics available, whether it's a panel or simply yardage. You want to just light up here? Light up here. We'll light over there. Yep. Or whether it's just yardage. It can be very, I'm going to say, inexpensive way for you to accessorize a room, give it some style, without having to spend hundreds of dollars and stuff. Picture.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So that's one idea. Anybody like that idea? Has anybody done it? Maybe they have pictures of something they've done too.
Absolutely.
Before. Okay. So let's talk what's next.
I was going to say, let's go to the patterns. Back to the patterns again. Because I think that's something that you were talking about. What comes first, the pattern or the fabric? And let's use this one as an example. Because this one, I think, don't you, Heidi, when it came in, we're like, well, it's kind of cute by itself, but we think it'd be much more effective cut up. That's right.
Something.
That's right. Because it has this beautiful big piece. Could be a pillow right there. Could make smaller, like scarf runners, table runners from the 3 blocks and 3 blocks, and leave that separate. What if you found a pattern like slideshow? And these blocks, the smaller blocks, would fit in there, not the big block. So you'd have to find something else to do with the big block, but the smaller blocks would fit into something like slideshow.
And Heidi, it might be able to take a few blocks replace a few smaller blocks with the larger block in the center.
Yes.
Or something such as that.
Absolutely. And that's something we'd love to do, in fact,
Right.
is it so that you can, and I'll show you that in a minute too. Let me see what other patterns. I'm going to look in here, just going through real quick to see. Well, here's one. If you wanted to keep it all together, love those panels from Cozy Quilt Designs. Is a nice pattern with a big center there. If you wanted to keep that all together for that. So that's always an idea. Now this particular panel does happen to come in blue as well.
Right.
And I happen to be working on a 3-yard quilt. I'm trying to get on the bandwagon, and this past week I was trying to make one before tonight. I got part of it done, but volleyball and other things just got in my way this week. But I have it organized. But what I've done, and I'll show you, but I've cut the center panel down to fit in place of a couple of blocks. So I've used the 3 yards quilts on the double, and I'm going to come around here.
Is that the right one?
What's that?
Is that the one you used?
Yeah, yes. And here, this is here. Because there's some there.
Yep. Okay.
You can pull. Okay. So I am using this quilt called Engagement. Can you see it? Okay, there. Okay, and it happens that the smaller blocks will fit in these squares. So see how I've trimmed and bordered those. So those are going in this unit right here. Okay. And then the big block, I'm going to cut this out right here, and that's where that big panel is going to go, is in place of these 4 blocks. Now, Jamie, I didn't have enough, so there was only 6 of the panels. So then I used, of my 3 yards of fabric, that one, there we go. Then the rest of my blocks are like this with the 3 yards. So my 3 fabrics were 1, 2, and 3. Well, yes, because the third one is this fabric. Let me get it in the camera there. And I'm using, those are going to be these blocks right here. Okay. And I think it's gonna be great when I get it all done. It just didn't get.
And you know, we love our 3-yard quilts, and so many of the 3-yard quilts use squares as a big, and we've talked about using a larger print into larger squares. And so just another way to think of it differently is to use, if you have a panel, again, that has some squares in it, could those squares be a portion of your quilt?
And I love doing that, and I think there's a lot of different designers that have done a good job, showing that. And I will tell you that one of the things I have in my let me just pull my travel box over here. You know what? And just so people can see. I thought I might have extra time in the hotel room this weekend.
So you traveled with it.
I traveled with it, right? And I won't get into all of it right now, but these units needed to all be trimmed to exactly 3.5 inches. So in the bottom of my box here, I have my folding cutting mat so that I can travel anywhere I need with my little folding cutting mat. I have my mini Stripology ruler for trimming up blocks, which is awesome, and my rotary cutter. Always good to have a good fresh blade.
Yes.
And my goal was to get them all trimmed and come home, and anyway, it didn't work. But anyway, it's just amazing how these little tools too help with the and has everybody seen Stripology?
You know what, Heidi, could you just lay it out there? I mean, I don't know, we'll have to tilt the camera down, but if you lay it, is that one of your blocks that's been trimmed?
I don't know if it's been trimmed or hasn't been trimmed, but we'll look. Okay, so Goldie, you're gonna trim. So remember, I'm not gonna pay attention. You know what? In fact, can I turn? No, I can't. On this one, I can't turn it over.
You want this one?
Yeah, give me that one real quick. I'm gonna, just for the sake of visual here,
so that you don't have the lines.
Yep, don't have the lines. Okay, so lay my block. Can you see that there, Goldie? Got that? Okay, so my block needs to be trimmed to 3.5 inches. And in this particular method, there wasn't much extra, but just enough that you gotta trim it, right?
It makes it much easier to sew and make sure everything matches up.
Yes, it does, because otherwise I'd have a mess. And so I love this is the mini Stripology ruler for doing things like this, because boy, I don't have to turn much. I can make it, really fast. And can you see this is the center of the square. We'll see if Goldie can get down there. She's working her way in. Okay, and the dash line is going this direction, and I can also see a dash line going that way. And I have to kind of find where my 3.5 inches are.
And she's lining up her seam on one of the dash lines.
That's right. And so this one, maybe I did trim this one.
You might have trimmed
I might have trimmed this one, but we'll get the idea. And so I line it up, and then literally I can see it's 3.5 inches, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. I can put my blade in to the slot, cut into the slot, and cut. I love it. Sounds are good too. Okay.
They are.
All right, and then
now she's not going to touch her fabric. She's going to pick up her
ruler, and I can then turn it the opposite direction. So the less you move your fabric, the more accurate you are. And I would just, at this point in the game, spin around and walk around on that side, but I'm not going to. In the slot, slice, in the slot, slice, and my block is trimmed. It's that simple. I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to say an old style ruler. Okay, do I cut 1/8 of an inch on this side? Do I cut? And this makes that part so much easier.
You can see how it's lining up, and the diagonal lines to go through the corner points, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
if you have not seen these Stripology rulers, we'd be happy to show you further. Tonight we're just touching on it.
Yeah.
But they're excellent and the difference it makes in the accuracy of your piecing when you're sewing it back together is amazing.
Yeah, and there are some quilts that when you have to cut a strip and then cut that strip into pieces, the Stripology ruler just makes it so much faster. So anyway, so you will see this finished project. I will have it done soon.
What did we do with the big piece?
Oh, but big pieces right there. We're going to take
now,
it out.
Hold on.
Yes.
Because we had another idea with this, and this one's going to be a little travel backwards here. But do you see back there the sunshine?
Yep. And this is, I think, as you start to walk back there, this is where our brains start going. When you look at a quilt, maybe there was no panel in it, but could a panel work in it? And so there's a lot of things, and we can show you different things, but look at how that panel would be beautiful in the middle of that pattern. And that is a free pattern that is on our website from Art Gallery Quilts. We used it with the Shine On collection of fabric, and it has a large piece of fabric in the middle that you don't want to cut down because you won't get it. But look at how, can you see that good? Is that good? Yeah. And I think it's interesting. And actually, Jamie, above you, so the pattern that Jamie's standing next to was not a panel project, and we could turn it into one. The one that's above her was actually promoted as a project for panel blocks, but we decided to just use one fabric in it. But do you see how you could go back and forth very easily with every single pattern?
And here's another great example of one that we isn't meant for a panel.
No.
But we used it.
Is it in the bucket?
For a panel.
I'll switch.
Yep.
I'll grab it.
This one we've done a couple. Actually, we've made it a few times with different things, but every time it's fun. So in the middle of it, you'll see on ours
the Starburst topper.
And we used a little individual panel, so to speak.
Right, and now in this particular case, we had to frame the Hen and Chick Studio block in order to make that work. And then Jamie, just because it's always so important, I love the memory that it's going to go with this quilt at all times.
Well, this would be good for graduations if people.
It would be awesome for graduation. This was our 10th anniversary quilt that the girls and the staff made, and I think you quilted it, and then our company that day got to sign it, and we loved it.
Great to thank for graduations. Didn't even think about that, Heidi. That's a whole nother topic.
Oh, yes. You could easily put the photo
Yeah.
of the graduate. That would be
school colors.
School colors with it.
All sorts of stuff.
Oh, that would be super easy to do.
Okay.
Super easy to do. So as you can see, pattern, panel, panel, pattern. I think it can go in so many directions. Now, sometimes, let's grab out, it made me think of, with, not this one, but the other one, where the panel, this one here.
Oh.
Some companies and some designers, they design the quilt specifically for the panel. And be sure to show the back side of it too, because I think there's actually two different sizes.
And that panel we're actually sold out of now, Heidi. But you could still use the pattern for something different.
That's correct. That's correct. Because even when you see that, now say for example, we do still have, which eagle panel do we have? This one. Okay, so wait a minute, Goldie. So that panel that is in there, show them what it looks like so that they can see. And that was a little bit wider. That was a one that was not 24 inches. It was wider than that. But imagine we could have used, we could figure out how to put this panel in there with a border and be able to still use that particular pattern. Yeah.
Yep. And then sometimes, as we already mentioned, the companies design a pattern as that one was, but this one is a little bit larger and more complex. So it's showing you that you can do a large project with a panel or a small project. So this is using that panel, and that's the One Nation is what it is, but the quilt kit was a free pattern again.
Yep, and it's QK, flip it over and you'll see it. Read it for me.
QK2225.
Okay, and how much is it, Goldie, just so they know?
$153.95.
And so that has all of the fabrics in it. So that was the one that was used for this one.
So same line, and we've shown you this panel already.
With the states and the I love this with the.
But this one is we actually were like, this is so cool because it's horizontal in the quilt that they've already designed for us. So we did not choose a different one because they have this beautiful design already.
It looks so nice. I just think it's such a nice balanced pattern. And so that is
around and show them that front side.
There you go.
Those beautiful fabrics too.
And so there's a different panel project for there.
Both of them are great, and of course you could use the big quilts, or you can make it just smaller with one of our simpler.
That's right.
Projects.
That's right.
Too.
Which way are we going? Over here?
I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, we'll throw it over here.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So then here we go. Let's talk about the dogs. Dogs. And we have our happy hour book.
Yes, somewhere. No.
We'll find it. I got it here. You're gonna grab that out, and Kalinda. We of course have had a couple different dog lines over the years, and the most recent one, which we still have a few of the accessory pieces, is called what was it? A Dog's Life. And Stacy had used the panel.
So let's show the panel.
Yep. You show that one. And this one is all similar size blocks. And I will tell you, I have never met a panel that was exact.
Yes.
So as you look at these, if you want to say they might be 8 by 8 1/4. And that's something that you have to kind of get used to with panels, is that as hard as I think the fabric companies try to get them to be. And that was the brown panel, and there it is, that. And we are out of this kit, but it's so adorable to show. Again, here is the simple pattern that was used, called Kalinda. Let me get it out here so you can see it. And I just think what a great way to incorporate the panel into the quilt top. And again, if they're not cut, I think she did a great job. I was just going to see if You know what I mean? Like it can be a little off. If you see a little of the extra border that's around it, it all looks good.
Yeah.
But that is Kalinda, and a great looking quilt for putting a panel into. So when I said happy hour,
this is the happy hour, right?
This is happy hour, isn't it? Okay.
Where's your wine?
My wine is not here. So happy hour is a book by Atkinson Designs, and I love this particular quilt. And you might recall, some of those of you who've been around with us, but this block is perfect for inserting into panels. And what do we make 5 of them that season, girls? Where we used a dog panel and fabrics to go with it and made that project. So definitely look at your pattern differently. If the blocks are 8, 9, 10 inches, that's going to typically be what most of the blocks are.
Okay. Well, we're talking about panels not being always exact sizes that you need.
Yes.
You'll notice the one up on the wall, the fringe, one Great American Summer Fringe. I'll put this up there. That is a case, again, where we had a panel, and
oh yeah. Yeah, what Stephanie needs something to do tomorrow. Yeah. When she comes to work tomorrow, when she sees that we've pulled everything apart.
This started as a panel, but of course we couldn't let it stay a panel, right? We had to find some other way. It's cute like that. But we ended up cutting it. But I will tell you, on this particular one, again, they're not perfect. So sometimes you have to kind of make it work and be a little creative with how you make it fit into the quilt project. Now that was another pattern, fringe, and if Goldie goes back to the kit here in a second, wherever it went to, did I give it to you already? Yep.
No, hold on, where'd it go? Oh, here.
Fringe.
Fringe is the pattern.
Fringe is the pattern, not meant for a panel.
Not meant for a panel.
Works for a panel.
Yes. And anytime you're seeing some of those blocks, I also think we're getting a lot of floral fabrics in and a lot of larger prints. And anytime I see those patterns, I also think, great, because you don't want to cut up some of these fabrics
that are beautiful prints.
Yes, and end up with, a little piece that you're like, and what was that?
Yeah.
Supposed to be.
So another idea here is this panel. We could take it and put it in. It doesn't have to be a quilt. It could also be a table runner. Okay, so here's in the middle. We'll come back to that before Goldie, can they see it in the middle? These blocks are actually the right size that you need for in the middle. Okay, so we have 3 in the middle. Now, sometimes as you notice on the edges of panels, we cut off, like on that one, we cut off the stripe.
Yeah, so, okay, let me grab it so
grab
they
that,
see
bring
it.
it back.
Yep, it's like there's the stripe at this end.
So a way to utilize the stripe would be, and I don't have it all done, but I could cut it and still piece it
Aren't you so
my...
clever?
I am. Every once in a while, I am. But
every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while. But I could use that stripe elsewhere instead of wasting it as an idea. So that could be in the middle. That
table runner.
And you can make it double long because there's 6 panels, or you can make 2. And in the middle is one that you can have done like in a...
Oh, yeah.
In an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle is a great pattern.
But I like to show how you can use the edging as well.
And we'll come back to that again when we talk a little bit more about your take home Tuesday. But when you've got the in the middle out.
So we have another in the middle that we've actually done that with these beautiful rooster.
Those are artwork that you can purchase individually. Kathleen McCalloway.
I don't know how
I always say her last name wrong. But anyway, we have the individual artwork, and then this is a kit that you can buy using the in the middle pattern and that artwork in place.
Our camera focus has to be.
As I say,
no drinks around here.
As I say, dehydrated from track practice or something.
Yeah, so another way to use your panels could be in table runners, not just in a quilt top or wall hanging.
That's right.
Well.
That's absolutely right. Okay, so what should we pull? What should we pull from over there?
Well, shall we talk about?
Yes, let's do that
real quick.
Okay, so on Take Home Tuesday, Jamie was showing the You Are Loved panel, and there are just a few of the You Are Loved panels left, and it is just a super sweet line. Do we have that panel open?
We do not have that panel. Well,
no. Oh, there's pieces and parts of it.
Pieces and parts. Yeah.
And it has, this is the little bird, and there's a little sheep and a llama.
They're all right here.
Are they? Oh, well, here. It's
they're just not together.
Let's, yeah, they're just not cut up. So then you look at the mom and baby.
Aren't they cute?
So cute. It's called You Are Loved. The collection is called You Are Loved, and it is on our website now. There's a couple more, Bunny in a Barn.
Again, we were talking about how you could frame them or put them on canvas, boom, put them in a quilt. You buy 2 panels and you have instant decorations, table runner, whatever you want in your child's room.
And on this particular panel, as you were saying, this is what was on the edge. Was this cute little butterfly piece. And you hate to see any of it go to waste, right?
Yep.
So Jamie, being the creative girl she is, took the sheep, he's so baby, the baby lamb, and then added the piece
strip that's kind of on the side that often gets overlooked.
Right, and then you put it back on to create a border on each end.
Yeah.
And it's now a travel pillow.
Yeah. A nice fluffy travel pillow.
A nice fluffy.
This one was not so fluffy because it's a used pillow.
But hey.
And our scrap cuddle.
That's right.
Used for the scrap cuddle.
So if you want to know more about what she did, all of our Take Home Tuesday episodes are on the website under Inspiration Take Home Tuesday, and you'll be able to see all of those. And wow, and it comes bouncing back to us. Okay, you want to put that over there? I guess that's going back up there. Okay, so then there are panels that are sometimes focused on a specific
theme line.
And of course, we've been talking about patriotic. Now this is our sewing room. Grant me the serenity to accept the seams that don't line up, and courage to rip them out, and the wisdom to know the difference. Oh, isn't that the truth?
Yeah. And this was using, let's find
message
board, which is on the back of the
yes, if you want to turn it around
too.
And we've used message board several different times. It now has a couple different versions of it, but that is a great use of a panel and can look so different with that. So all right, and what's she pulling out next?
Well, we're just going to do another panel again, talking about our simple panels.
Yes. Okay.
Without cutting them apart.
Yes. So you need something quick and easy for your wall this spring or summer. Here is Backyard Happenings.
It's the twisted panel kit, but I'm going to step in here when she gets done showing that.
You go ahead. You can get in.
Yep. Again, you have blocks here that we could cut down and put into table runners or slideshow, or use some of the other patterns that necessarily weren't meant for, quote unquote, a panel cut apart. It's something such as that. Very good on that, because there's so many ideas. Another one that we have that
it's been hanging out near the cuddle, I can tell.
Yeah, it's all cuddly. This is not necessarily meant, again, this is a newer pattern that we have. And you'll have to show the little versions on the back because it's so cute. They had embroidered on that. I think they did some applique or something. But again, simple blocks for a big pattern of fabric, or cut your panel into little pieces and put on there. We thought that'd be really super cute too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know that they actually have panels that make books?
No.
You don't? Well, let me tell you, that's a whole nother thing. And I'm going to take this out because I think, and on our website in the free patterns section, there are lots of patterns that are free about how to cut up a book panel and make it into a quilt, because there are times when that, but my goodness gracious, you think. So now this happens to be wider, right? Okay, so it's more like a 36-inch panel, and it has all the elements of a book. This one happens to be the alphabet, and then the instructions on how to make it. They're very simple, and so that is a great baby gift. and inexpensive. I mean, at that point, this is $12.99. You use a scrap of batting, and it might take an hour, hour and a half to make it if you've never made one before, and you have a really nice gift.
Yeah.
And that to me is a very affordable baby gift.
Usable
and
as
very
well,
usable.
functional.
They wash and dry.
Yeah.
They're not, you know.
That one happens to be from Noah and Friends, which
Yes.
is a very adorable line where you do not have much yardage of it left.
No.
And very limited number of these kits with the large panel in it. We do not have any large panel left, but it is in the kit.
Yes.
So-
And so there's 2 kits left in the denim. And when I say denim, that means that
That's the porthole
this
color.
porthole, which I love this fabric, the porthole fabric has a dark blue background, and then there's one with green. And that's all we have are those 3 kits that are left. But it is a great, definitely a great
And that
gift.
one used the Flight North pattern again. Something that could be easily transferred to all sorts of other panels.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You guys get the idea. You don't limit yourself on your possibilities.
No. No.
Let's go and talk about Project Parade a little bit because we actually have two projects in the work out of this book.
Yep.
And we'll take
Yep.
out one of them.
Okay, so Project Parade is from Peachtree Patterns. So those are the same $3.50 small cards like in the middle from the same designer. But we love this particular book, and what a value this has, because in this book that cost $18, so you might say, oh, it's $18, but it has 15 fabulous new projects based on some of her popular tiny ones. And it's just a great place to have all of that in one place.
So we actually have two things in the works for this one.
So the first one is called Boxes from Fat Quarters on page 11 or 13. Let me get it to see if I can see.
And it is using, let's pull out this
Yep.
while you're finding it.
So it's this particular drawing in black and white. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up there. And what we're seeing is that you would put the squares in these blocks, these larger blocks, and then you would use all of the coordinating prints to make the rest of the blocks. And it is an adorable collection. It's got cows, it has strawberries and cherries and little turnips in black and white, just all sorts of great fabrics. And I love the penny, or the price tags.
Gingham.
Yeah,
such
it's
in it
so
too.
cute.
And I bet Virginia's already on that, finding that one.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sure she is. And so that is one of the projects in this book. So already we've got 2 ideas for you to be able to use that. The second one is this called Panel Parade.
I promise
See that there?
It's going to be cute.
And that is, again, that page 22. I'm going to show the black and white. Because Goldie, can you see that all right?
Yeah.
All right, because I like to see. So just look at that. And again, a panel could work in here. But what happens with some of these large prints? And do we have the large print?
Yep.
There you go. Okay, there we go, right there. So this particular large print, I'm going to get it up here. It is big. This is from One Nation, and the SKU number is 12168. But if you see that, look at my hand. It's a big print. It's a big print. You don't want to cut that up, or you would end up with small goofy pieces.
Right. And so a couple things with this particular pattern that we chose out of here. We want to use this fabric
Where the panel is.
where the panel would be. That doesn't mean I couldn't go back and take one of those flags and put it in there, or the eagle panel and put it in there instead of this fabric. But we wanted to use this fabric. So if you're using a directional fabric, think ahead. Do I want it going horizontally or vertically on the wall? Because in this particular case, and read your pattern ahead, because down here it talks about making this equal 24.5 by 42.5. So I don't have to add any borders if I cut my fabric
Correct.
to that specification.
Yes.
Okay, so
Always read the patterns first.
Yes.
Always.
So in this particular case, I would want to go the longer.
So you'd like a yard and a fourth
Yep.
rather than the other direction.
So that it hangs this way.
Right. So you've got, yep,
Or I have it upside down
absolutely.
that way.
Yeah. Well,
Well, whichever way.
yes.
Yeah.
It's directional. Yes.
Yeah.
You've got it. But that way, at least half of them are looking the right way.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, but now let's show you something really fun and fast, because using these Stripology rulers to cut is amazing. So I've already started it, but I wanted to show you my work in progress. Okay, for this one we used a fat quarter bundle, and I think I have it right here.
Let me hold on to that for you. This is a brand new fat quarter bundle we have. Can you see that?
Yep, FQ212.
And so it is the fat quarters. It is not all from one collection. Let me
Right.
just take those out. They're so pretty. That might be even better. There we go. Now can we see them?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I've started here. Can you see that at all? Goldie, can you see these
Oh,
blocks
yeah,
laid
a
out
little
there?
bit, yeah.
Okay, I've already started it. Again, we'll go back if you remember that was going to be something like that. So I've started this. But now let me show you from those fat quarters just how quick it is to cut. I think what did I say, Heidi? Less than an hour I had the pieces cut and this much
Yes.
sewn. Okay, so
She
again,
was texting me, do we want anything from this? I'm like, yes. And pretty soon she's got it.
so I'm going to take my fat quarters, and again, we're talking about using the Stripology ruler. I'm actually going to layer them on this particular case open. And I'll show you why later, because I need to cut strips opening the strip off of this. So I'm going to layer my fabric. Oftentimes when I use a Stripology, I don't open it, but since it's a fat quarter, I am, because I want to cut more at one time.
And as you're starting to layer those, again, as we're talking about the Stripology rulers, they are a more expensive ruler, but it is, they're giving us the 5-minute warning.
No, 10.
Oh,
10 minute warning, Jamie.
No, that's
How
all.
did, that's not right.
Yeah.
They must be crazy that we've
Yeah.
talked for 50 minutes already. So,
Is anybody commenting? Is anybody still there?
right,
Is
yeah,
anybody
is
still
there anybody,
commenting?
there's-
nobody's, has everybody gone home?
400 comments.
What's that?
400 comments. Awesome.
Wow. Well, keep commenting because we're going to draw prizes from all those comments. Okay, so, but one of the things about the Stripology ruler that I like, just real quick, is that I know it's expensive, but I will be the first one to tell you I'm not going to sell a ruler that I don't believe is backed with education and lots of patterns. And the thing is that the more you use it, the more you realize that it goes to more than just GE design patterns. It's just that once you start using it, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I can use the Stripology ruler for that. Oh, wait, I can use the Stripology ruler for that.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's just, it's so good.
So I've laid my fabrics. I'm not too concerned because I know I'm always going to be trimming them down. And I left my piece of paper back there. What page? I gotta open it back up to
Oh, sorry.
make sure I get the right size. Okay, so I'm gonna layer it here, and my zero line is on this side. I should move to the other side of the table, but then you wouldn't be able to see. So my zero line, I'm using my fold up here as my straight. It doesn't matter because I'm not getting up there. Some people will be like, oh my goodness, it's not. No,
Right.
chill. Take it easy. Okay, now on this particular one, I need 2.5 inch strips. So I'm going to cut my zero line. So now I have taken that. And I don't know if I got all the way through on this because we're on a table. Then I'm going to go to 2.5.
And
Squares.
the way the ruler is marked.
So the squares is right.
Yeah,
or
the squares
5.
is
I don't
every-
even have to add.
Yep. Every square is a 2.5 inch strip.
And I actually know that off of this, I need 4 2.5 inch strips from each fat quarter.
Yeah, it goes very, very quickly.
Okay, so I already have those cut. Here's my extra. I'm going to slide it to the side. I'm going to take off my trash. I am going to, if I was at home, I wouldn't slide them so far, but I'm going to slide these off because we're here. These two pieces I need to open up, and I'm going to have to slide them again because we're on a smaller surface. Now you can see why I had them layered, and I need to cut the same thing. I need 12.5 inch. So from here, I'm still going to zero it out. I've used this line. Doesn't matter which line. I'm just using a straight line here for my top to make sure it's straight, and my bottom, as you can see there. And I'm going to go 0. And now I need 12.5. So I'm going to go to 12.5 and cut it. Okay?
Slick as a whistle.
Slick as a whistle. Now, I wouldn't move it except for I want you to see that. So I'm going to come back over here. Whoops. And now that I've moved it, pretend I didn't move it. I would come back in here, cut my 12.5, 12.5, and I know I need 4 2.5 by 2.5. So I go 12.5. What's 2.5? 1 2.5, 1 2.5, and boom, I would have
all the different elements that you need to make those blocks, because you're doing
and then
2.5, 2.5, and then the 12
and then the extra strip that I have, I need to cut the 8.5 inch. But you can see how fast it goes just by that little demonstration. Hopefully you can see the benefits to having that.
Absolutely. And again, it's going to be another great patriotic quilt.
Yep.
It's so much fun to be able to use those.
Slide that over there.
Yep, you bet. Yep.
Yeah, so now I got, and the beauty of it is now I have very accurately cut pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know, we always say that the less you move your fabric, the more accurate you are. So a couple of things: either your table, you need to be able to go around your table, or you need to be able to switch your mat. And you can certainly take even a mat this size, and you can rotate it. There are also rotating mats if that's something that you like. There's a lot of different ways, but the less you move your fabric, the more accurate you are, no matter what ruler you're using.
And it is so true, because even when I was doing these, I've done no trimming on them, but you can see how nicely they just line up.
Yes.
It makes it so much easier, but it's going to be cute. We are going to put the yardage in the middle. But again, you could choose something different. Absolutely.
You could do a variety of different things. Now, since we're getting close to the top of the hour, I am going to step out for a second and see if I can get organized on drawing our names for our prizes. We've got this panel yet to talk about, and then we, of course, want to talk about Modern Love, the beautiful fabric behind us, and the panel that goes with that, for sure. Okay, I'll be right back. Keep commenting.
How much the Stripology rulers are?
60. I'll get that before I do that.
She's going to do same thing. So here's another large panel that we have from Be the Light. Again, be great to just wrap on a canvas, Insta Art, cut into little pieces. This, I think, would be one that would be fun to do some of the embroidery on top of, just to give it another level, layer of character. But great pieces to cut apart on that one. And that's Be the Light panel. There is some coordinating fabrics that go with that one as well. So let's talk a little bit about this Modern Love. So I don't know if you can pan slightly over. You're not going to get the whole picture, probably, to the Modern Love quilt up there. Can you see it at all hanging up on the wall? You may not be able to. It's the one with this beautiful collection. That is another example where we used running yardage in the center. So the center of that is not a panel, but it is running yardage. And the pattern we use for that is Grand Central. And Goldie or Virginia can put the link in there to it, I bet. Grab it here. But I gotta show you this, because look how different it looks, that color wave. We've also seen it done patriotic, and we loved it in the patriotic. And if you flip it over, Goldie, on the back, there's a bonus one that's called Baby Grand. And again, you could use a panel, but more on these, we're thinking the nice large prints of fabric. So and this one was just yardage in the center.
And then you used a wide back.
And we did use a wide back. And coordinate it with our
because
back.
Then your backing is also from that.
Yeah. So just some different ideas for you. I've seen that particular Grand Central done in patriotic, and it was beautiful. Loved that one as well. Okay, let's talk the Stripology ruler.
So I grabbed all three of them. Okay, the largest one is the XL. It is $69.99. The squared is Of course, I grabbed one without a price. No, $56.99. And the mini is $42.99. Now, if I had to tell you that you had, like, if you said, hey, I can only start with one, then I would go for the big one if I could get the big one.
Yeah. For sure.
But there are reasons to have all of them.
Yeah.
That is for sure, because there's different projects and different things. Like I told you, I'm using the mini right now to do all the trimming of those little blocks. I could do it on here, but boy, I'd have to trim
so
this
much bigger
big
when you just have a little block and the small squares on there.
Yeah, so those are the Stripology. Okay, do you want to grab the stack of prizes right
before
there?
you do that, someone's asking if you carry the travel ruler. Oh, not ruler, the mat, the folding one that you have.
We have had that one before, and I can absolutely get it back in. To be honest, I don't think I have any in stock at the moment, but it is slick for. Do I?
I don't know.
I have a small one.
Yeah, but we have a small one.
And I have. We have a couple.
We have one.
Oh, we do have one. Yep, and we can get more. We always
I
can.
put the link. Reply to someone's comment with the
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's better to ask because we all have questions.
That's right. So we do have one at the moment. So this is the one I was using, which is an Olfa. This is $49.99.
This is the one that is perfect for your coffee table if you want to watch an episode of something and trim some blocks at the same time.
I wonder how you know that.
Just saying. I think it would work really well.
And of course, any of the rotary cutters work.
Yep, and
we all have our preferences in the cute little mini.
This is just a cute little one.
Yes. And but see, that would be great with the mini, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As I'm doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Goodness. So, let's ask a question, though. Like, if they could, what was their favorite? What was their favorite idea?
Yeah, what is your favorite panel or use of a panel?
Something different. Share, because that's the only way we get, like, that's how we get inspiration, know what you guys want to hear, too.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things, like, if you see something that one of your friends would like, tag them on it and say, hey, I think you might like this quilt. Because it is fun to be able to see all the different.
I feel like we hardly got anywhere with what we wanted to get done.
I know. We never.
I guess you're going to have to watch more.
I was going to say we never have enough time, do we?
Yes.
We never have enough time. But we've got all sorts of things coming up. Before I give the prizes out, Wednesday night we're going to have a creative conversation, and I don't technically have a sign up for this particular event. It is just going to be a conversation with Brenda Riddle. She is a fabric designer and pattern designer. It's going to be 7 o'clock Wednesday night. So basically 48 hours from now. It'll be Facebook Live. So, if you don't have anything going on, join in. We'll record it, of course, and be able to watch that later. But it'll be fun. Brenda is the designer featured in our March. I got to think about this. Feathered Friends. I'm getting mixed up. I think she was in the March Feathered Friends. And anyway, and so we just wanted to get to know her a little better and share her creativity with you. So that will be on Wednesday night. Oh my gosh, I know there's some other things coming up, but we'll save that for another video.
We'll save that for another video. Just a reminder and a clarification if you've been following along or new to our Stash Buster. This is a little bit different. The Stash Buster this month is April and May.
Because it is a much more involved pieced quilt. And anyway, you're getting 2.5 months to get it done. It is due June 15th. If you want to know more about our Stash Buster program, just go to our website. There is a tab across the top, and Stash Buster is one of those tabs. Click on it. All of the information is there. And if it's not self-explanatory, just call us.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be glad to help you. But lots of inspiration on that page and lots of free patterns.
Yeah.
So that is definitely for sure. Okay. And maybe what we should do, since it's getting late, is say that we're going to have an unboxing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, because that was going to be how we
went
into
because we have boxes to unbox, but we'll do that tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow.
And let's say, tomorrow's Tuesday. Can I say 1 o'clock safely?
No.
Go
earlier.
How about
or
we
later.
do? Well, I was just thinking if when FedEx is going to come again.
And we have a track meet. So.
I know.
Well,
There's a
let's
track
say
meet.
like
11:30.
Say like 7:30 in the morning.
No!
We can't even decide what time tomorrow.
Okay,
so we'll do like
9 a.m. sharp.
Yeah, it'll be right after lunch, sometime after lunch. And if we get organized in the morning and can say a specific time, I'll post it. If not, be watching for it after lunch because I have a feeling there'll be more boxes arriving tomorrow as well. Always good stuff, and we can unbox them all at once.
But you know, to get more boxes, we got to keep getting more ideas.
That's right.
And then you guys got to get more ideas. And then it's all this giant circle of fun.
That's exactly right.
The circle of life.
There you go.
The circle of the quilt life.
That's exactly right. Okay, without further ado, we're starting to get giddy. Okay, well, we've got 5 prizes, and I see. So I've written them down, and so you pick prize number 1. You pick the prize, and it is, these are, sometimes we get free things, and so I'm passing them along. This is a Nantucket mini charm bag, and I believe it does include the charms. It's a Moda, and that is going to Jan Fitzpatrick. Well, wonderful.
That is super cute.
Yep. Okay. So that's Jan Fitzpatrick. And you are picking number 2 is Perfectly Patchwork. Uh-oh. We didn't like tell Stephanie Unruh about that. Hopefully she'll be won't be upset.
It's not all cats, but there's a lot of things with cats in this book.
Yes.
There's a lot of things you can do without.
Yes. And that is going to go to Cindy Piskey. Wonderful, Cindy, and I think you're coming in a week or so, so we'll save that for you to pick up, and Jan's going to be here, I know, for long arming.
This is some fabric.
A piece of fabric. This is going to Ann Coolman.
Oh, she'll come.
Oh, yeah, she'll be super creative with that.
3-yard quilt with that.
All right,
probably.
number 4.
Some magic pins.
Magic pins are a product that we sell. This is a little sample pouch of what a magic pin. I think there's a couple different ones in there, and that's going to go to Janine Sandsgaard. Awesome.
And last but not least,
somebody who I know can use a beautiful quilted bag.
And it's a heavier plastic.
Yes. And that is going to go to Kelly Belden. Woohoo! So, some great prizes. So, congratulations, Jan, Cindy, and Janine, and Kelly. And I think all of you, I think Janine maybe has a package. I don't remember. We'll double check. But you're all either going to be coming in soon to get those.
And remember, if you place your order tonight, we will combine them.
Yes, if you have placed more than one order, and so you'll only get charged shipping. We do an $8.50 flat rate shipping, and I'm telling you, it's getting to be the best deal in town because our postage rates are going up, and we're keeping it at $8.50. So whatever you buy, it all gets shipped for $8.50. And let me tell you, we've become the master of packaging. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All right, ladies, are there any last questions from the crowd? No. Well, thank you everybody for staying tuned with us, and hopefully have warmed you up for that basketball game, whatever is going to be going on shortly. But in the meantime, if there's anything we can help you with to make your quilting more fun, your retreating more fun, whatever it is, come on over to Hen and Chick Studio because we would love to help you be creative.